Welcome back, everybody. It's I, Riffraff Hornhelm, and I'm here with another presentation from the Dwarven Vault, and today we have a monster review. And in keeping in line with what we've been doing here in this celebratory 50th year of Dungeons & Dragons, this will be from the original Monster Manual, and today we're going to talk to you about one of my favorites. I love this creature. I think it's underutilized. It's the Gorgon. Right? Here you have a bull-like metal-scaled creature with horns. I mean, it looks like a bull, but it's covered with metallic scales. And it's large, so, larger than man-size, but it's roughly bull-size for a cow's, it's big. Wouldn't want one standing on my foot. Ouch. Now, these creatures love to inhabit deep, dank, dreary wilderness areas and large, dreary caverns and things where they can move around easy enough within them. They are ones that can attack. Surprisingly enough, in the original book, they don't have any attacks from being able to hit with their hooves, so it's only one attack, which presumably is a bite attack. And the bite attack, I think, does 2 to 12 points of damage, which is nothing very severe. Now, they're a 8 hit dice creature. So, once again, on the basis that it's 1d8 for each hit dice, it's a maximum of 64 points. That's pretty substantial, and with the metallic hide and so forth, it's a armor class 2, which means it's not that easy to hit. Now, so far, it doesn't sound like much of a big deal, right? Well, the Gorgon's got one specific power that is really nasty. It can breathe a cone 60 feet out with about a 20-foot radius at the end of it that, if you fail your save, will turn you to stone. Now, that's pretty damn effective, I'd say. If they get you with this breath weapon attack, you're kind of screwed. Now, mind you, you do get your normal save, so there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have any special magical resistance or special defenses, and it also is just animal intelligence. Now, one thing that we haven't mentioned up till this point is that this creature, the Gorgon, is able to perceive into the astral and ethereal planes. So its breath weapon will also work in the astral and ethereal plane. Now that's, once again, we haven't gotten into planes very much yet, but that makes it a much more effective creature overall. And really, when you look at the rankings, it makes a little bit more sense, especially if they're groups that are using the ability to travel through those planes. So, something to keep in mind. So these are not ones that you have to worry about getting outsmarted with or having something else up their sleeve. They're kind of a one-trick pony. But that one trick is pretty effective. So really, you have to be aware of that breath attack. It gets it 4 times a day, and it is its preferred method of attack. Watch out for these. They're kind of nasty. Now, of course, as per all of these reviews, I've gone back to the Hornhelm Dungeon Master group and asked them what they thought of this. And really, from a DM standpoint, this got a pretty good ranking. This got a solid 5. And I think the reason for that is that players overlook this character. They don't realize that it's capable of turning them to stone until the first time it happens. It's not one of the ones that people look at very closely. So it comes as kind of a surprise shock for a party if you throw one of these in there. And certainly that's a pretty nasty attack to have. If it turns you to stone, it doesn't have to worry about anything else. And mind you, with it being a 20-foot radius at the end of that cone, it's not necessarily just you that's under effect. Something to think about. In talking to players about it, got kind of a surprising reaction from me. The average came back at 6, with a lot of players saying more like 6.5. And it was all because they got caught out of sorts. They did not know what this was capable of doing. They all thought that the Gorgon breathed fire. It doesn't breathe fire, at least not in 1E. And it does petrify you if you're unlucky. And seeing how rolls generally go for parties, you know, depends on the day. So this is a very nasty creature, and one that you need to be aware of at least. You want to keep your distance. 60 feet is a pretty good range that it has for shooting out this nasty gaseous cloud that is going to petrify you. And when I say petrify, it doesn't just freeze you in place. It turns you to stone. Don't fall over. Or be in the middle of motion when you fail your save. That would be really bad. Now, from a Dwarven standpoint, yes, we do run into these every once in a while underground because they like to hang out in subterranean places. But we know what these are, and we know how dangerous they can be. It's one that, once again, that you have to try and manage as best as you can with long-distance weapons, rather than trying to get in close to it, unless you can get it in a confined space where somebody can come up on it from behind. So, if you don't know what the Gorgon is, make sure that you familiarize yourself with at least its major power, because you don't want to have to come up against that with no knowledge in the future. Makes sense, right? So that is the Gorgon, my friends. If you enjoyed today's presentation, by all means, please give us a thumbs up, consider subscribing, share with your friends, leave us a comment, come back and see us again real soon, and we thank you all for your kind support. Take care, everyone, and remember, dwarves rock!